Best Irish music on irishradio.org with Jerry Byrne.
I'm Jerry Byrne, Irish Radio it is. Now, since lockdown and all the rest of it, I've been speaking to the great and the good and the talented of Irish music and entertainment and the arts and the community. I've got a gentleman now who is absolutely steeped in music. He grew up listening to his dad, who is an accomplished worldwide performer of music from Omagh in County Tyrone. I'm delighted to say hello to Barry Kirwan. Barry, how are you?
Hi Jerry, I'm keeping great, thank you. Thanks for having me on the show.
A real pleasure, Barry, a real pleasure. Listen, man, it's sort of no surprise really that you went into music because, you grew up with music continually around you. I mean, your dad was performing all the time. Quite literally, he's performed all over the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we literally did, as you say, we were steeped in music. My mum also did a lot of singing in the church, for funerals and weddings and things like that. So we were constantly we just always had music around us, and even just from a young age in school, my brothers and myself, we all kind of took part in different fascias and things like that. So we were singing from no age really.
Right, and it sort of continued on. You went out then. You were what instrument were you playing? You were actually playing in your dad's band.
Yeah, well, I studied music at college, and I went on to London to further studies with drums, so I was a drummer. And when I finished college, Dad offered me a job in his band, so I ended up becoming Dad's drummer for about four years, I think it was. And then I decided to call him. I just moved out to Nashville, so I decided that I wanted to take a little break from music, and I went out to Nashville for 3 months. So I stayed there for 3 months, and I did a little bit of drumming out there with a country duo called Joey and Rory. And when I came back, then I got offered a job with Lisa McHugh, and I worked with Lisa for about 8 months, I think it was. And then Derek Ryan offered me a job, and I worked with Derek for 4.5 years as his drummer. So until then, I decided I was going to put my own band on the road, and in June 2016, I launched my own band, and I kind of been doing that ever since.
Excellent stuff. Well done. You've certainly been around. Not alone you have the experience of your dad, but you have the experience of those those other artists. And
yeah,
you recorded quite a bit of material in that time. I mean, as well as all the touring you did.
Yeah, well, I mean, whenever I worked with Dad, I recorded an album called "To Make You Feel My Love," which was kind of the first project I ever done. And that was really just kind of to sell on the road, just have something to sell when I was working with Dad. And then whenever I launched my own band, then I've released 2 albums since. I released an album called New Beginnings, and then I released an album 2 years ago then called Moments. And thankfully, I can tell you now too that I've just started working on a new album, so I hope to have it ready for Christmas.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. Both your dad was actually telling me in an interview that he's also working an album which he will have out probably around October as well.
Yeah, it's funny. I was in the studio working on Dad's album yesterday, so I was doing backing vocals, and I've done a few of the drum tracks on it as well. So it's still good to kind of dip in and out of different projects. So I'm currently working on my own, but then I'm working on Dad's as well. So it's great.
Oh, that's excellent stuff. Excellent. It's a different dynamic when you when you actually go out to lead your own band, and to rather than be a member of a band. A totally different dynamic.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, whenever you're a member of a band, you just have to worry about turning up. You have to know your parts. At the end of the night, you get handed money, and that's it. You don't have really anything else to think about. But whenever you have your own band on the road, obviously you're the person, you're the employer, so you need to make sure that you're getting the people in the door, that you're covering your costs. You have to pay your band. You just have a lot more to think about, a lot more responsibility really. So it's kind of a bigger weight on your head. But I have to say now, thankfully, things have been going pretty good for the last 4 years. So I've been enjoying it.
Oh, that's excellent stuff. That's excellent. You were definitely establishing yourself. You played all right across Ireland, and I believe you also did some touring. Did you in Scotland as well?
Yeah, I mean, I've done a fair bit of touring with Dad in Scotland and right down through England as well. But Scotland, yeah, Scotland's a really good market. They just seem to like the Kirwan brand. So thankfully, Scotland's been very good to well, obviously very good to Dad, but it's started to be very good to me as well.
Oh, that's excellent. Now you had a song which came out. I was just wondering where did you get it? Called it was huge. It was one of your first ones, called "Up the Jive."
Yeah, Up the Jive actually was a song that I co-wrote with my brother Colin. Both of us wrote it together.
Oh.
Yeah. It's funny, when I was touring with Derek as Derek's drummer, kind of the country scene was kind of had a real resurgence, and a lot of young people were going to the country scene again, and obviously with social media and stuff like that, this hashtag started coming up, and people were writing at the end of their social media posts like hashtag Up the Jive. And I just remember saying to Colin one night, Colin had been home for Christmas from Nashville, and I said to him, I actually think this would be a great idea for a song. And literally, I think we sat down there and then, and we wrote it probably in about 20 minutes, I would say.
Wow. I was wondering where it came from. I hadn't heard anybody else doing it. I was just wondering, was it a song from some little known artist that I hadn't heard of in America or something? But well done, that was cracking. It went an absolute storm, that song.
Yeah, even when you kind of go and look at your analytics and Spotify and stuff, it's probably still my biggest song, I think, to date. So it's kind of it makes you feel really good when it's a song that your biggest song's a song that you've written yourself.
Indeed, that's absolutely that's absolutely excellent, and well done on all of that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, your program is mainly sort of a dance program.
Yeah, well, pretty much. I mean, that's kind of what I've been doing the past 4 years. I've been working in the dance circuit in Ireland here. So my program lends to be a dance set. I've done the odd concert here and there, and it's probably a market I'd like to kind of get into a little bit more. And now with this whole COVID thing, it probably is a market that I don't see the dance scene coming back anytime soon. So I'd imagine that concert market might come back a little bit quicker.
Right.
So it could be just something to look at now, maybe over the next few months. And maybe try and dabble in that a little bit.
Indeed. So very difficult to know how to call it at the moment with the whole way things are with the worldwide pandemic. Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it is. It's very, very, very strange times for anybody who's involved in the arts. Really, obviously, singers, musicians, crew, theatre people. We've all been heavily affected by it, and it's just a matter. We just have to, grin and bear it for now, and hopefully that things change for the better. Really, really soon.
Indeed, that's all one can do, because I mean it's a situation whereby the arts, in general, it's music, it's theatre, it's plays, it's every performance situation has been obliterated, not alone in this part of the world, but right across the entire world.
Oh, totally, yeah, totally.
Something we sort of never thought we'd see, but you've been doing some Facebook Lives, which have been going very well.
Yeah, it's something that I kind of wanted to do from the start of the lockdown thing. It was the only kind of way that we could stay in touch with the people that are our fans that come to see us. And I mean, you don't get the same buzz from performing on Facebook Live, but at least you still get that interaction with your fans, and they're able to sit and chat to you while you're doing it. So it was just a way to stay in touch with people. And in fairness, you can probably get a bit lazy at times too when you have nothing really to do sitting about the house. And it kind of made me go and grab the guitar and made me learn new songs and So it was a benefit for myself, and it was a really good way to stay in touch with the fans.
Indeed. So in the interview I did with your dad and many of the other artists, the one thing I've said about artists, like yourself doing Facebook Live, they've had astounding views. I mean, they've been so big, the number of views, like that. Television channels would be very happy to have the actual numbers of people who've watched.
Yeah, well, I suppose people were probably sitting at home, and they had, not that they had nothing else to do, but I mean, music lovers, or people who do like to go out to dances or like to go to concerts, they had that opportunity to sit at home and watch their favorite artist, and as I said too, they could communicate with the artist as well. So not all the time, fans would get a chance to communicate with artists, and it kind of astounded me to myself as well, just to see the kind of numbers that were tuning in every week. But yeah, it was great.
It did, yeah, absolutely fabulous, and it is really a great way to get in touch. I think one of the things I've been remarking on to many other singers have been remarking to me about is with the times that we've got is the huge progression there has been in technology and the use of technology in every way.
Yeah, I mean, I think as time goes on and as technology and phones and computer systems and all get better and better, it's like, I think it's an age now where technology is probably going to be used a lot more, and I think the way this whole COVID thing is for the likes of us musicians and singers and stuff now, we have to use every kind of inlay that we can to still get to people, and technology is proven to be a very big factor of that. So happy days for that.
Indeed so. It's it definitely is changed times, and of course, even for people listening to music, the big one that's coming is streaming of music. Whereby that appears to be sort of going to be the default way of people actually getting music is by streaming it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much the way it is now anyway. CD sales have definitely, dropped. I think the only way we kind of sold CDs was when we were on the road, and people would have bought them at your gigs, because well, I mean, there still is CD stores, and you can still purchase CDs online and stuff, but I do think the streaming way has definitely taken over for now, and yeah, it's just we all have to just kind of get on board with it and go with it,
Indeed, yes, indeed, that's the way. It's the way of the world. It's the way that it is. Barry, listen, it's been lovely to catch up with you. It really has, and I wish you good health to yourself. You've got a young chap now, a baby who's yeah. Congratulations. What age is he now?
Well, he's not really a baby anymore. He's 2.5 now,
wow.
so he's starting to chat us and string sentences together and all that kind of thing. So he's good fun, and he's, in fairness, he's no major hassle. So he's a good child, and he's great fun to be around.
Oh, that's excellent. That is excellent. Barry, listen, enjoy your time with, with your son and your wife in the times that we've got
Thank
in
you.
it. And listen, here's hoping that, you'll be back in action as soon as it's safe to do so. It's lovely to catch up with you.
Thanks, Jerry. Thanks for having me on your show, and keep safe, everyone who listens as well. And hopefully we'll see you real soon.